Well, hello kids. My name is Firefighter Jay. I'm with the Lakeville Volunteer Fire Department. We're here to talk today about kitchen safety, okay? So you guys are getting to the age where this summer your parents might let you cook on your own. So we want to come up with some safety tips for you, all right? How many kids have actually used a pot, okay? To maybe put a hot dog in there, maybe make some chili or some soup, okay? So if we're gonna use the pot, okay, before you start cooking, we always wanna make sure that you grab a lid, okay? If you're gonna be cooking a hamburger or something greasy, okay, it may splatter on you. So you wanna make sure that you grab a lid and that it fits and locks in, okay? So let's say we're cooking a hamburger, okay? And you know you gotta cook both sides of the hamburger. So once the one side's done, it might start spitting at you. So if it's spitting at you, that means it's getting ready to burn. So we wanna flip that hamburger over, okay? But let's say that you walk away. You come back into the kitchen, okay? And you got flames coming out of the pot this high, okay? So what we can do is use our lid that we checked before we started cooking, slide it this way, lock it in, okay? What else do we need to do? Turn off the stove. And can we move this to another burner that's not on? Because this one's hot, that one's not. You wanna leave this lid on there for at least 5 to 10 minutes, okay? If I take this off, I'm gonna give it oxygen, the flame's gonna come right back up to the same height, okay? So leave that on there, lock it in, turn it off, okay? I have had a student say, well, why don't you put water in it, okay? So if I go to run to put water in it, I might splash it on my arm and I might drop the pot, okay? Now we've got fire on the stove, on the countertop, okay? When you add water to the grease fire, okay, it's gonna kind of explode on you, okay? We do not want that to happen. So do not use water when you have a grease fire, okay? Use the lid, slide it over, lock it in, leave it there for 10 minutes, and turn off the heat, okay? Now, other things you might cook would be like a frozen pizza, right? So you get the frozen pizza out of the freezer, and it's got the wrapper on it, right? So you gotta take the wrapper off. But is there some important information on that wrapper? Yes. What is it? The temperature you wanna cook the pizza at, probably 350, 425 degrees. What's the second thing? The time that you wanna cook it. It gives you a range. It may be from 10 minutes to 15 minutes, okay? So let's say that we've got a range of 10 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven. That's why they give you a range. Let's say that we wanna cook that pizza, all right? Now, are you gonna be able to stay in the kitchen for 10 minutes? Most of you are not, okay? So we wanna set a timer, okay? There's timers like this, okay? There's timers on the stove, okay? You wanna set the timer for 1 minute less than the lowest number. So if it said 10 to 15 minutes, let's set the timer for 9 minutes, okay? So that way when it starts beeping, you got enough time to come back and get it to the oven, okay, to check on it. Now, let's say we come back and we see an orange glow in there, because those little pieces of pepperoni, you didn't notice it, but when you put it in the oven, that piece of pepperoni fell down on the burner, okay? So how long is that little piece of pepperoni gonna take to burn? Maybe a minute. So you come back at 9 minutes, that pizza is gonna be burning, okay? You're gonna see an orange glow in there. You might see some smoke puffing out. Do you think it's a smart idea to open the oven? No, leave the oven closed. But what should we do? Turn it off, okay? Turn off the oven. You can turn on, if you guys have a vent over it, you can turn the vent on and let it vent out. Leave that closed, okay? The fire will run out of oxygen and it'll burn itself out, okay? But if you open it, you're gonna give it oxygen and that fire's gonna come right back at you, okay? You might not even have enough time to shut the oven door, and then you're gonna have the whole kitchen on fire, okay? So leave the oven door closed, turn it to off, okay? All right, now with the stove, we have a special device. It's called a stovetop fire stop. It's got a magnet on it, and it holds up underneath your kitchen vent hood, okay? There's a wick on here, okay? So if there's a fire that happens, it'll light the wick, it'll go into the canister, and it'll go bang. It'll be like a loud bang, all right? And then it'll shake the powder. There's powder that comes out and goes into the pot, okay? This might not put the fire out, but the loud noise is gonna get you back to the kitchen, all right? And this is gonna slow the fire down so that you can either get the lid on there, but what's the last thing we need to do? Turn off the stove, okay? Move the lid, all right? So this usually retails around $50, $55, okay, at the hardware store. You may have to get it from the service counter, okay? But you get 2 of these. This protects 2 burners, and this one protects 2 burners, all right? So maybe it's a great idea for your grandparents because they say they have everything, they don't need a gift. This is a gift of fire safety, okay? Also, we've got the oven mitts, right? So you always see your parents have the oven mitt, and when they go to open the oven, they always tell you when you're a kid to back up because when you open the oven, the hot air comes out, okay? So let the hot air come out, grab the cookies, put them up on the counter, okay? Can you touch the cookies right out of the oven? No, we need to let them cool. That's why you needed the special glove, okay? So let those cookies cool, all right? So that's just some simple tips in the kitchen that you guys can do to help out when you're trying to make some lunch that's hot.